Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello and welcome. This is Nick from Top Notch Sports, and today we're going over the 2023 Tampa Bay Buccaneers salary review and offseason moves for 2023. Head coach Todd Bowles and quarterback Tom Brady finished 8-9 in the NFC South, first in the division, and lost to the Dallas Cowboys in the first round. Overall, a pretty iffy season. It was the first season Tom Brady ever had a losing record. And to go 8-9 and make the playoffs, I don't know if you can truly feel satisfied about that being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. You guys got to let me know in the comment section below. They're in terrible, terrible cap trouble. They sold out for a championship. Bruce Arians left. Tom Brady's probably on his way out. And now this team is left in a terrible situation under head coach Todd Bowles. And I kind of feel for him. When Bruce Arians walked away, he was handed a mess. I know that everyone considers it a championship caliber roster, and I know that. I think we can all agree. We all know that. But this team right now on paper has a lot of holes, has no money, and they're losing their quarterback, and it's only going to get worse from here. This is a mock offseason, mock free agency. We're going to try to get this team back on the right path, so let me know if you think we do that in the comment section below. These are the things that we think are realistically going to happen. We're not going to pull a bunch of crap, and again, for this series' sake, we can't pull some strings that they can pull in real life to really get this team back on track. So if you're new to this series, welcome. If you're not new to this series and you're returning, welcome back. Let's hop right into this. All right, on the first slide here, what you see, these are players that are currently under contract. Now, again, in the top left corner of your screen, you see they got negative $42.1 million. Okay? Now, with that being stated, all right, they got negative money. What does that mean, Nick? What, you giving me bad news or something here? Yeah, I kind of am. I mean, with negative $42.1 million, that's a big hole. Now, I have seen, and we've all seen the New Orleans Saints make moves in the negative cap space. So these guys are going to hire, crazy accountants and work within the rules and figure out a way to, re-sign some guys, retain some players, and maybe go out and sign a few free agents. In this video, we can't do that, okay? And real fast, the color scheme. Guys in green, you cut them, you save money. Guys in red, you cut them, you lose money. Quick example, if you cut Donovan Smith, you save $9.9 million. Cut Logan Hall, you lose $3.7. You would never cut somebody in red, but you might consider cutting some of these guys in green. But again, I mean, for the love of goodness gracious, if you were to cut Donovan Smith, Russell Gage, Mike Evans, which you would never do these things, and Shaq Mason, you're freeing up, what, $25 million? You're still negative 20-something million dollars in the hole, 18, 15, whatever the hell it is, right? So that's really not going to do much. So there's no reason to even cut anybody. You just got to, and I know, again, in real life, there's ways to work around it, and they might do that. But for the sake of this video, we're not going to do all that crazy stuff. What we are going to tell you is this. This roster is really in deep trouble. You see a few question marks? I don't like doing this. I'll find anybody to plug into those spots. There is nobody currently under contract that you guys can plug in there. Okay? That's how bad of a situation this is right now. You don't have another defensive lineman or even a safety or, anything under contract that can fill in right now for those positions. So I had to leave them as question marks. So take a look at this. Let me know who you cut. Let me know who you bring back, if anybody. And I mean, just big holes. I mean, you don't have Tom Brady. You got Kyle Trask and cornerback Anthony Chesley. I don't know who that even is, to be honest with you. KJ Britt playing linebacker. I don't think you guys really want to be doing that. So let me know if you know who Anthony Chesley is, and if he's doing good for you guys, let me know. I don't know that, okay? But again, I'm going to do my best in this video to try and make this team at least compete a little bit, as good as I can. And again, the NFC South, not a great division, so you guys always got a chance. Here we go. Here are your notable losses. These are guys that are currently not under contract and need a contract extension. Before we even do anything, percent of snaps played is calculated by guys that were currently active on the game day roster. If they were on the IR or if they were injured for that game and they did not play, that does not get counted against them. So there's going to be a guy here right now that played, 2 games this season, but he was on the IR or on the, injured the entire season. They wasn't on the active roster. They might say 100% of the snaps played or 90% of the snaps played because, again, it only gets counted against them if they were activated on the game day roster and they were either benched or did not play. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Here we go. First guy, quarterback Tom Brady, expected contract, a 2-year, $81.7 million deal. He played 100% of the snaps. Next guy, offensive tackle Donovan Smith, expected contract, a 3-year, $58 million deal. He played 94% of the snaps. Next guy, linebacker Levante David, expected contract, a 1-year, $9.7 million deal. He played 100% of the snaps. Next guy, cornerback Jamel Dean, His expected contract is a 3-year, $26.2 million deal. He played 96% of the snaps. And last but not least, Mike Edwards, safety. Expected contract is a 2-year, $7.6 million deal. He plays 62% of the snaps. Okay, what does this mean? What can we do? Typically, a good rule of thumb is guys that play a high percent of snaps and play well during those high percent of snaps are brought back to the team. The issue is that you guys are in such bad cap debt that you can't bring these guys back in theory. In theory, according to this video, there's ways that you can work around the cap. I'm not a licensed, accountant and, one of these GMs that are able to do these moves for you. And I'm not going to do it for the Buccaneers because I wouldn't do it for the Saints and I wouldn't do it, for teams that are barely in. I try to keep this series very, very realistic and try to keep it very, very, fair and unbiased towards all the teams. So the only thing that you can do if you want one of these guys back is franchise tag them. So the next slide, we're going to look at our potential targets. Here are our potential targets. Okay, so we got $42.1 million negative cap space. You look here, estimated cuts, we got none. We're not going to cut 10 guys to free up $20 million and still be in negative cap space. But with that being stated, we are going to bring back Lavonte David on a franchise tag, which is going to cost us $20.9 million. You can be in the negatives on the franchise tag. You can be negative $63 million. That means absolutely nothing. You're fine like that. Okay, so what does that do for you? Well, you go right over here, you look at your linebacker. You're going to franchise tag that linebacker need in Lavonte David. Okay, so that fills that in. We also got a mock trade for you guys. We got you guys trading away, a second round pick. What would it be? In the 20s, 18s, somewhere right around there probably, for quarterback Derek Carr. Now, again, we originally made these moves weeks ago. We don't know if this is going to still happen. But again, I feel like this would be a good, realistic move for you guys. Derek Carr wants a team that has, a coach that's been there for a while, a stable coach, who's hopefully they're going to, keep Todd Bowles there. And maybe Todd Bowles goes out and brings in, coaches that Derek Carr wants around him. And look, I know Derek Carr like the back of my hand. Okay, I watched this guy for years. I think he's a very, very solid quarterback. And you give him the weapons of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, I think they absolutely compete. I mean, this might be, I know the defense isn't phenomenal anymore, but look, that's the best defense Derek Carr ever had. You look at the offensive line, I know they say, Brady got hit a lot. One of the better offensive lines when everyone's healthy, too, for Derek Carr. Receivers, weapons-wise, probably the best weapons he ever had around him. So, look, again, not a bad situation for Carr. You go over here, you look then, too. We're going to draft in the first round. We're going to draft cornerback Clark Phillips. In the third round, we're going to bring Kalijah Cansey. So what does this do for us? Well, look here. So for the defensive tackle need, we're drafting Kalijah Cansey. And for the cornerback position, we're drafting Clark Phillips. For that quarterback need, we're bringing in quarterback Derek Carr. So you still need to bring in, draft the offensive guard maybe in the 4th, 5th round, draft the safety in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, whatever it may be. You do those things, you're looking pretty all right, and we're going to look at what they look like on paper. All right, here we are now, our active roster, or expected lineup for 2023. You look at the cap space, you guys are negative $63 million in the hole. Okay, there's really no way to get out of that. We got a color scheme here. Guys in yellow are placeholders, so these are guys that we don't feel like are really great players that can be replaced, whether it's in the draft or free agency. Some of these guys might be young, but I don't know who this guy is. Luke, your left guard, you guys got to let me know. According to PFF and my own analysis, from the very limited film that there was on this dude, not that great. You need to replace him absolutely. Over here, safety, you still don't even have one on the roster. You don't draft one, 5th, 6th round, maybe bring in an undrafted free agent. Plug him in. You lose a Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards, in my opinion, is a really good safety. You got Pink. Pink means you trade for. You guys are trading for Derek Carr. You putting him in. Offense not looking bad. Good left tackle, good center, good right guard, good right tackle. Mike Evans, phenomenal future Hall of Fame weapon. Chris Godwin, Kate Otten, however you pronounce his name, pretty good last year in my opinion. Under with Tom Brady, I feel like it'd be good with Derek Carr. Leonard Fournette, Rashad White. Okay, 2 really good running backs. Defensive side of the ball. Orange, re-sign. You're re-signing. You're franchise tagging Lavonte David. And in that light blue color are your draft picks. You're bringing in Clark Phillips. You're bringing in Kalijah Cansey. You make these moves. This team is not that bad, and I feel like you can win games. You got a pretty dang good offensive line if you bring in, another guy to compete for that left guard position. Your weapons are very good. Whoever quarterback comes in here should be very happy with their weapons. Your defensive side of the ball, not bad. Not bad. Shaq Barrett, still Devin White, Lavonte David. That linebacker core is potent. You got Antoine Winfield, Clark Phillips, and Carlton Davis. Not bad secondary. Your issue is defensive line. But Vita Vea, Joe Tryon, Logan Hall, 3 young pieces. Hopefully can really, really get after it. Shaq Barrett also rushes off the edge. So when you look at this team that went 8-9 last year under Todd Bowles, You got the Panthers most likely probably getting better next season. You got the Falcons most likely probably getting better next season under Arthur Smith. You got the Saints kind of in a little bit of an iffy situation too, but again, year 2 under Dennis Allen. With that being stated, you look at this team. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I feel like this is going to be a very, very tight race, but I do believe if you bring in Derek Carr, you bring back Levante David, you shore up your cornerback and defensive line position with Kalijah Cansey and Clark Phillips, and you figure out a safety that you can play under head coach Todd Bowles. You figure out your new offensive coordinator since you fire Byron Leftwich, and you figure stuff out. I feel like this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, under these circumstances, can go 9-8 next season, finish first in the division, and make the playoffs. Don't know if they win a game, but let me repeat that one more time. They go 9-8, they win the division, and they make the playoffs. With that being stated, if you don't bring in Derek Carr, I highly, highly, highly doubt this team makes the playoffs. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope to hear from all of you. Give me feedback what you guys would do. I'd love to hear. See you guys soon. Peace. We are Built Better.